Alright, we are recording. What's up, guys? So today I've got a little bit of a pet project I've been working on. So lately my videos have been in 1.11. I'm back in 1.8, my bread and butter. This will work in the newer version, so don't worry if you plan on building these. So what I got here are three designs for advanced sorting systems. So conventional designs typically have four chests available, or four items per slice. And in this case, I have 8 chests available to the player. I got 4 different items can be sorted as represented by these colors for each slice. So what this is basically for is a big storage room. Like in this little mini example here, you can have 12 different items being sorted. So that'd be like, am I doing my math right? Yeah, 3, 3, 3, 3. So yeah, I got 3 designs here. Now this one on the far right is actually what we used on our server, and we have this repeated, like, I don't know, it's 32 back, two-sided, so there's about 256 sorters in our room, and we use this design here. Now you can see that the other designs are different, and I'll get to that in a second. So we put the ice on the left side, and this will become relevant later, because it was just a little bit easier to manage. And when we use the system, we've got 7 chests available. We got 4 different items per slice, and then we've got 2 chests available for most of the items except for the top. And that's kind of something that's bugged me for a while. So I laid the chests out just a little bit different, as you can see here. It's just ever so slightly different. And I've tested this in survival. In fact, I could do it now, where you can actually reach, these bottom two, and then these two, you can reach that one. And I think with a little hop, you can get both of these, but I figured the hop wasn't a big deal because you'd either have the speed effect, which would increase your reach ever so slightly, or people just jump anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. And the wiring's pretty compact. Now, the reason we have this different sorter on the bottom is because you can only have, it'll allow you to have just 2 items in the sorter. Now, I didn't actually fill any of these to keep my sanity for testing, but I have videos on those where I explain in more detail. And then the rest are the conventional sorters where you'd have 41 items in the hopper to be sorted. And then there's ice streams for them to move swiftly. Now, that's a pistonless design. With this design, I kind of went all out. I used a design that me and Rid PMC set up, and I have a video on it, again, linked in the description, where we used cauldrons and pistons. And this is an extremely compact way for cheap item sorting. What I mean by that is every hopper will have 2 of your sorter item and then filler items in between, whether it be buckets or like 20 or so of a different item. That doesn't really matter. And I wanted to keep it down to about 4 or 5 hoppers per chest. You can see this top one actually uses 6 because I had to go so high, but it's made up for this chest here that only has 4. And this one down here also has 4. So I tried to keep it as leg friendly, cheap as I could, while maintaining a pretty kick-ass storage system. And I think that this is kind of the ultimate solution for any server or group of people who are serious about item sorting, because you've got 2 chests available, which means you've got most of your items right in front of your face that you can access at any time, and you've got 4 items per slice, so it's definitely not slacking. Now, if we were to start over, this honestly is probably the design I would consider. The pistons are buggy, so we would most likely go with something like that, but this is cheaper for the items at least, and I don't know, it's a little bit more difficult to build. So there's a lot of considerations, but I figured I'd throw it in here. Now, I'm not going to do a tutorial for any of these, but if anybody asks, of course I'll do one. I'll provide a world download to this world, maybe. It's a little big, so if you want like a smaller world download, then I can probably arrange that. I use this world because it's really nice scenery, and I'll link the video in the description to where this world is from. So yeah, I hope I explained this clearly enough, or why I did certain things. I forgot to mention real quick that the ice being on the different side, I was actually able to compact the redstone quite a bit, and that would make it weird for just, nah, disregard that. It was just, when the items drop down, they'd have to be aligned in a strange way, but that's not really a consideration for this because it won't matter too much. That's more of an aesthetic feel, but that's just me going on personal stuff. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike. And if your feelings were more complicated than that, leave me a comment because I love reading those. That's it for me. Thanks for watching.